Yes, I was in Boy Scouts once. Didn't like it. For those who don't know what Boy Scouts is or just doesn't understand it too well, it's an organization that takes boys into the woods to learn how to do things. More specifically, good survival skills that would actually help you if you find yourself stranded in a forest. Yeah, that happens often enough. Don't get me wrong, this is actually very helpful as it goes over skills that would be critical to, well, surviving in the forest, like building a fire from scratch, knowing what food is edible and what is not, and building shelter. But since we're not in the Stone Age anymore, these skills aren't as necessary as they used to be. But these skills aren't completely useless. In fact, if you're looking into being a ranger or something like that, then these skills are going to be a requirement. Unless you're someone like me who stays inside 14 hours a day, then these skills are situational. Which was disappointing, admittingly, since I really liked camping. That sentence made no sense. And thought it would be fun to go camping almost every week. But since we're doing it so constantly, it began to feel very repetitive and more learning than camping.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought teaching us these skills was why they were taking us camping in the first place.
So yeah, for me, Boy Scouts was mostly just camping and learning forest tricks. Sadly, I don't remember much from the experiences besides a few pieces of the trips, but I'll save those pieces for another video. So instead, I'll go back a step and talk about Cub Scouts. Cub Scouts is basically Boy Scouts for younger kids, only without camping and you learn half the tricks. You do learn some pretty useful stuff like fire safety, knot tying, and even tool use with walkie-talkies and pocket knives. This is all more like preparing to go camping rather than actually camping. Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts are a little bit one and the same, so you go straight from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts when you advance in rank. Speaking of, there are 5 ranks of Cub Scouts before advancing for Boy Scouts. The ones I remember being part of were Wolf, Bear, and Webelos, though there was also technically Tiger, Bobcat, and Lion Cub. From what I can remember, you could join in any time between kindergarten and 5th grade, or at least that's what Google is telling me. If I looked it up, then I didn't remember any of it. Who wrote this? Yeah, that's right. I write the script. Since we weren't going nearly as much as I thought we were, I didn't like it either. But the times we did, we didn't even get to stay overnight, which was lame, but I'd rather go home anyways. Except for the fact we had to go back early in the morning the next 2 days. The activities there were alright, except for the BB gun range. I hated the BB gun range. I wasn't afraid of it, I just didn't like the fact that they were loud and weren't very accurate. Unless, of course, I just couldn't aim. But all of that is saying something considering I really loved archery. Which, mainly because that's just the same thing but with bows and arrows. Eventually I got tired of the campouts and didn't really like going at all, or getting the badges for that matter, so I just stopped going. Am I going to need what I learned from them? Most likely not, but it is good to know how to tie a square knot.